What's up, comic fans, and it's time for that new comic book day haul plus review. So we're gonna get into the books. We got some 50 centers. We got some books from the previous like 3-4 weeks, and we're gonna get into it all right after this. Welcome back. All right. We got a lot of books to get through, so we're gonna keep the 50 centers short. This week's theme: the X-Files. Alright, only 2 books. This is the X-Files Zero Special Collector's Edition. You got Mulder and Scully on these covers. Oh, just Mulder on this one, but you got Scully and Mulder on this one. It's the A and B cover. So, that's it. Created by Chris Carter. This was really one of the more popular shows when it was on TV. And we got the X-Files from Topps Comics, issue 0. Alright. 50 cents. Boom. Alright, let's keep the ball rolling. Those were the 50 centers. Let's get into first off, we got the indies. So what am I reading? G.I. Joe. I don't know if you've been reading G.I. Joe. Definitely worth a read. You know, the Joes are coming together. Cobra's doing its thing. Right? Destro and Cobra Commander working over there. But yeah, if you're not reading the Energon verse, you really should. It's really, really good. Alright. Speaking of the Energon verse, Transformers. We got Transformers in since the last episode of New Comic Book Day. NCBD. Yeah, this is also really good. You've got everything is really in turmoil here. You've got a little infighting amongst the Transformers, those who are loyal to Cybertron, and those who are trying to save Earth, right? And don't really care too much about the humans. Not that they want to see anything bad happen to them, but they're like, hey, let's put Cybertron first. Also, then you got the Decepticons, and you have 2 factions of Decepticons, one led by Starscream, right? The other one run by Soundwave and Shockwave. So all sorts of fighting, all sorts of Transformers, huge Transformers, small Transformers, all the Transformers, just all fighting. All right, last but not least, we have FML number 3. This is just a cute book, a fun book. The main character gets changed into a monster. The mom is she's just struggling to be a mom, a writer. She's a former like punk band head or lead of a punk band. So she's really just trying to figure out life. And the fact that her kid gets turned into a monster is like the least of her troubles. It's more like, we got to get you to school on time. We got to make sure you did your homework. Those kind of things. It's just a really fun book to read. So FML. And there was a surprise. So we've been really introduced to the characters and getting to learn them. And at the end of this book, things get a little serious. All right. They found the dead body. All right. Moving on. We got the bulk of my reading. These are Marvel books right here. Let's go with probably the best horror book, and at least the best horror book I believe in the big companies, the big publishers. We've got the Incredible Hulk. This is issue number 21. We're dealing with lichens and all monsters and all sorts of cool stuff in this book. I definitely recommend reading the Hulk, because besides for the Hulk, you know, the usual Bruce Banner Hulk thing, there's lots of monsters. All right. Werewolf by Night appears in there. Really worth a read. Next up, this has been out for a while. Ultimate Wolverine number 1. We got the A cover, and this was the C cover with Omega Red. All right, Omega Red, part of the trio of people running that territory that the Ultimate Wolverine exists in. We get like an origin story in here, little gruesome. We get some deaths in here, so some of your favorite X-Men might not be around for the rest of this run. And yeah, we learn a lot about what's happening in that world. And even though he's the Ultimate Wolverine is, like the Weapon X program, kind of memory erased and all that stuff, we do see that there is some recognition as to what's going on here. So I think from this issue on, there's going to be that payback, that retribution for turning him into this monster, if you will. Exceptional X-Men number 5. If you're looking for a Kitty Pryde, Shadow Cat leading a team of younger X-Men, trying to figure out what it's all about while also dealing with the ramifications of Krakoa and what Kate Pryde did, which was some stuff. We've got Exceptional X-Men number 5. So this was like the animation cover, I believe. So I liked it. I dug it, but it was cool. Picked it up. All right, Whole New Venom number 2. No real answers as to who the all new Venom is, but definitely, I won't say definitely, but there seems, they're working on eliminating the prospects in this one. All right, Dylan Brock is just a real bad. I was trying to think of something good. He's just a real bad kid in this. He's a real shit. Yeah, MJ and Paul are trying to raise him, and he's not having it. He's not having it. I mean, I guess you'd be mad too if your dad started a war, symbiote war with you. Whew. All right, the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 65. These are all really good. We're getting into the psyche of Peter Parker. Peter Parker, just in these issues. Little spoiler, he just wants to quit being Spidey. He is exposed, I think, to over 2 million deaths or something like that, and he just does not take it well, kind of becomes hopeless. So that's kind of what happened in in 65, and then there's 65 deaths, just little addition to that story. We get Doctor Strange involved here, and one of the scions of Sidorak, kind of talking about that, what's up with Spidey. And then we got this right here. Spidey's still not really convinced, he wants to do it. Again, you got, some conversations happening behind the scenes, not involving Peter, about, how important he is to this whole thing. And then you got Black Cat, there to support him, as you can see on the cover. It's definitely supporting him, but trying to get him to realize the hero that he is. All right, the other, all the Spider-Man titles now I think are pretty decent. They're pretty good. Amazing's, I wouldn't say back on top, but Amazing is keeping my interest. Miles Morales for a while was carrying it, and then you got Ultimate Spider-Man, which is phenomenal as well. Spider-Man versus the Black Panther gods. Basically, Spidey's trying to get rid of his vampirism with the help of the Black Panther. They kind of confront Bast, and then Anansi, who's the kind of a trickster god and also god of spiders, shows up. Apparently, he picked Miles Morales to be his champion, and so then in issue 29. He's got Miles and Black Panther kind of go mano a mano, but part of it is, can you figure out a way to stop the Black Panther without, beating him up or whatever? Just kind of making sure that Miles, has all his faculties and can still, do more than just beat people up. So the gods want to make sure he's worthy, if you will. And Miles kind of does that. And then last on the Marvel books, we have Ultimate Spider-Man number 13. Harry and Peter are captured by Kraven here, and he releases them for the hunt. And they've got to, run and hide and try not to get captured. So that is what's happening there. All right, the last few books. These are out of DC. We're going to start with Superman Action Comics. Superman. Again, we're getting into the psyche of the superhero. With this one, we got Superman, and Superman is really reeling. He's trying to help Major Disaster. He has helped Major Disaster. Major Disaster then turns evil again, tries to do a quick bank job, ends up killing somebody, and now Superman, or Clark Kent, more importantly, is distraught as to why. And Clark Kent starts becoming a snoop and reporter, and going around and asking people who knew Major Disaster, what happened, what made him turn. And he's not liking the answers that he's getting. And then at the end of it, he's like attacked. Clark Kent is attacked, and it looked like it actually hurt him. So it's like somebody attacked him with kryptonite or something. I'm like, what's going on? But I guess we got to read the next Action Comics to figure it out. All right, next up, we got Absolute Superman number 3. Little origin story as to what happened to Krypton here. I mean, you can see the green. You can see what appears to be a planet exploding. Absolute Superman, all the Absolute books, Absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, all great. Absolute Superman number 4, we get a little bit more of what happened on Krypton, and then we're back on Earth, all right, with Absolute Superman. We've got Lois Lane trying to find Supes in this one. I think she's got a soft spot. She's really trying to figure out, what his deal is, and she wants to do it safely, but she's part of a bigger conglomerate that's all about the war machine and making money. So it's going to be a hard task. And at the end of it, Superman kind of confronts her again, and then he's on the lam one more time. Next up, we got Absolute Batman number 4. Just more of Batman bringing out his fun toys, trying to work with the Alfred, who's a secret agent, and we're getting a little bit more in depth as to what the Black Mask is and what it represents, and who Black Mask himself is, and what he's up to. Seems like world domination, if you ask me. Last but not least, we got Absolute Wonder Woman number 4. She finally defeats this horrific monster that's trying to take out the city here. Does it with like this huge Final Fantasy VII sword, but 100 times bigger than that. Like, forget it. This is the ultimate gunblade. It's a gun battleship, right? But does it? There's some magic involved, right? This Wonder Woman comes out of hell, right? She was made in hell. She's still from Themyscira, but she grows up in hell. So it's an interesting concept, an interesting take. We have a lot of the gods involved, the magic involved in this. So really good book. Love the whole Absolute line out of DC. I'm all in on that. All right, comic fans, that was my new comic book day haul involving those 250 centers and just a bunch of books I've read over the last 2 weeks. All right, if you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go ahead and throw me a thumbs up and comment down below. Do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for this week's books. Deuces. Peace. We're out. Ka-ching. We out. We're out. We're gonna get into it all right after this.